going, everybody? So today we're here to celebrate kind of two great guys, two great defenders, Hayden and Colby, on their signing day today. These two guys made a goal and they have reached their goal. All right, now it's time to make a new goal once you reach that school, graduate, play some great soccer, maybe even find the next level. If not, get that degree and keep enjoying soccer. All right? So today we're going to start off with Colby signing first. We'll just go alphabetical order. So we'll start with Colby first. If anybody wants to come talk about Colby, you can come on up and then I'll say a few words. And then we'll get signed, take a couple pictures, and then we'll let Hayden, whoever wants to say something about Hayden, come on up, say some things about him. Then we'll get him signed, take a couple pictures, and then big old celebration. Sound good?
Great.
All right.
Should we roast Colby? Maybe that's a good roast up. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Today is really more than just a celebration. I think, like Coach said, it's a recognition of years of hard work, of sacrifice, and really relentless dedication by both of these kids. Colby's signing to play at Oglethorpe University, and that achievement didn't happen overnight. Behind that moment is countless early mornings, late practices, sore muscles, and tough losses that shape not just the player, but really the young man that he is today. And I think really helped to build resilience and grit that I think will serve him well later in life. There's been sacrifices along the way, not just for him, but for many of the people involved. Numerous weekends given up, social events missed, and the constant balancing between work, school, and soccer, obviously. Colby's club coaches couldn't be here today, but one of them did ask me just to read something. So this is from his coach, Marcel. It says, "Your dedication, determination, and discipline is why you've been able to push through. Just remember where you came from now. You're a true testament of what it means to never give up." And I thought about that, and I think that's right. I mean, Colby didn't. He never gave up. There were setbacks along the way. Like the one time he worked all summer to make the elite team on the club team and was relegated to the second team. And that really bothered him at first, but then he just used that to challenge him and really push through. And he pushed through those challenges with the same determination and love for the game, I think, that never faded. Ultimately, Colby was then named captain of that same team 2 years later, and again, I think that's a testament to the hard work. There are a lot of other funny anecdotes that I could give about Colby, like the one of only 2 times he was asked to play goalie and almost wrapped himself around the upright and almost broke a rib. The adventures of learning how to juggle and countless others, but I think for the sake of time and everyone's saying sanity and Colby's dignity, I won't do that. But I think this signing is not just a reward. It's a true testament that hard work pays off. And so, Colby, congratulations. I think additionally there's numerous people that have helped support this journey. I think numerous coaches along the way. So to the coaches, family, and friends that pushed Colby when he needed to be pushed, I think consoled him when he needed to be consoled, encouraged him when he was down, and transported him when he needed a ride, because there's a lot of rides in soccer. We all get to celebrate this day with you, Colby, and so thank you for your dedication to the sport, coaches, and to the players that you support. There's a tremendous amount of sacrifice and time that you all give up, and none of these players would be where they are today without you guys, and we thank you for that. So Colby, we're incredibly proud of you, and we just tell you to keep reaching for the stars, keep pushing through, and keep working with that same determination and grit for the sport. So congratulations.
I'll say one more thing about Colby, and then we'll let him sign, take a couple pictures. When he was brought up as a freshman, everybody got injured at our first playoff game, and I looked at my bench, and I looked at Coach Christian, and I was like, I don't know what to do. We looked down, I said, I need a midfielder. I looked at Colby, I said, Colby, you play midfield? Yes, Coach. All right, go in. And after that game, he came up and he said, Coach, I've never played midfield in my life. I had no idea what I was doing, but that's just the type of player he is. Whatever you need, he'll do it for you. He'll do it to his best of ability. And congratulations. Thank you, Chris.
to say one thing before I sign. Again, thank you to Coach Vigon, Coach Lamb, for this amazing senior season I've had. It's been phenomenal. I want to thank my parents who have blessed me beyond recognition with just as much as support as monetary value. Truly couldn't have done it without them. And I want to give glory to God before anything, because without His blessings, I couldn't have done anything that I've done today. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign here. What day is it?
14. It's not a blank sheet.
All right, next up we got Hayden. Hayden, this is the first year I've got to coach Hayden, and he's always surprised me. He's played through injury all year this year, and he's one of the fullbacks that loves to get forward, and I love fullbacks that love to get forward and create some things for our offense. Coach Christian was going to be here, but he'll be here tomorrow night, so unfortunately he wanted to say a few words about both of these fellas since he's coached them, but he'll be here tomorrow night to see everybody. But I know Hayden's club coach is here. He wants to say a few words, and then I'll say some more things after that.
So, thank you, Coach Roberts, and I think the athletic director Spruill for having me, and Mr. Shellhammer and family. Appreciate you guys inviting me to represent the Revs and to be here on behalf of Hayden. First, I'll tell you, I know Colby also. I'll just say a couple things. I tried to recruit him several times. He's going to go to a very good school. Oglethorpe. I know Coach John, Christian, Miguel, all those guys very well. They've recruited a lot of our players, and it's a really good program, so he's going to do really well there. So you don't know me. I am the head coach for the Georgia Revolution FC's top U19 team. I am the college recruiting coordinator for the Georgia Revs. Helped over 100 kids go to college over the last 3 years on scholarship, over $1 million in aggregate scholarship money. Players going all over the country and Europe to play soccer in college. I'm the club's liaison to the professional side, making sure our players get opportunities to go and trial at professional locations. Also the coach of our U16 first team. So I'm a busy person. I don't give my respect easily. It's a difficult thing to play for me. It's a very challenging thing. I met Colby 2 years ago, just after tryouts in the summer of 2023. I can relate very much to your story you told with Colby, and that is, I met him when he and his father just learned that Colby was, Hayden was not going to make our first team. He was going to make the U17 B team. And I don't know how many of you guys know Harley. He was not very happy with this information and was ready to leave and go back to Albion. Just so happens, our team, I was also at that point coaching our U19 B team, and I had no left-footed center backs. And I'd seen Hayden, I liked him, and I thought, you know what, I think I have a solution here. Went and talked to his dad and Hayden, told him it would be brutal, it'd be tough, it'd be like me taking him and strapping cinder blocks to his ankles and dropping him in the middle of the ocean and just saying, good luck, figure out how to swim. Because he'd be 2.5 years younger than most of his competition, be smaller, slower, less experienced, not as good, and he'd have to find a way to survive in that mode as a young U17 playing up into U19. Even at the B level, still, it was going to be hard. He took on that challenge. Consequently, he actually was rostered on 3 teams during that season, our U17B and A and 19Bs. Every weekend he played at least 2 games. Some he played 3, there were some he played 4, because he was on all the teams and became necessary on all of them. He earned his spot, he worked his tail off, enough so that he made my first team in the summer of 2024. He made our U19 A team. And was an integral part of our success. I promised him at the beginning of the season that if he played for me, I would get him on college campuses. He would play against college teams. He would have college coaches know who he is. He would have opportunities if he worked his butt off, kept his grades up, and stayed out of trouble. He did all of those things. He did wind up going to many colleges throughout the year, and I told him he would receive multiple offers, and he did. Because he received multiple offers, he was able to select the college of his choice based on comfort and what he felt like was really made him feel like a home. And I think he chose a good one. Coach Mark at Point University, I've sent many players there through the years, had many players come from there and come play for the Revs and our adult teams. He's a man of character and integrity. You guys will be very fortunate to have him looking after your boy. He'll do a great job. He not only teaches guys how to be better soccer players, teaches guys how to be better men. And I think that you'll benefit from that immensely. And I look forward to seeing your growth continue, Hayden. I said before, it's not easy to earn my respect because I don't give it away. You have to bust your tail, live up to your commitments, and you have to persevere through your problems because I don't want to hear about them. I want you to accomplish your goals. I want you to live up to what you said you wanted to do for yourself, and I will challenge you at every point. I think as a coach, that's my job, is to get more out of you than you think you can do. I tell everybody that, I don't know how many of you guys know who Michelangelo is, but he created a sculpture called the Statue of David. If you don't know, don't take out your phones now, but look it up later. It's probably the most famous statue in the entire world that's ever existed. This was done thousands of years ago. But it started as a lump of clay. What is clay? Red dirt. Hayden was red dirt when I met him, a pile of it. And we sculpt, and we sculpt, and we sculpted for 2 years. And because we try to, as coaches, and I'm sure your coaches have felt the same way, I know this is probably what you do as well, we see what you can be, not what you are. Most of the time when we meet you, you're red dirt. But we see you as you could be an amazing sculptor one day. And we work at you. And that's what you have as teachers and parents and coaches that are working on you athletes, helping you become something better that you don't see you could become. But we see it. And I saw it in you, Hayden. You have not arrived. I hope you don't take this as that you've arrived. This is still the beginning of your journey. There's more yet to come because you told me what your goals are. I hope that you'll work hard to accomplish them. I believe in you. As I told you, you've earned my respect. I love you, I care about you, and I want to see you keep growing, not only as a soccer player, but as a man. All right, congratulations on your scholarship.
I'm Harley Shellhammer, Hayden's father. If you guys haven't seen me before, I wasn't going to say anything, but he said something, so I feel like I got to say something. I'm used to talking off the cuff, and you know, I'm almost speechless what to say because of all the years that we've been playing. Hayden started at 3. I'm a huge soccer nut. I've traveled the world. I've been to every World Cup since '94. I played soccer at an elite level. I was a professional athlete in another sport. So I'm very, when he says I get angry, it's just because I'm very competitive. And there's one thing I always promised I wouldn't do, and that's be a bench dad, screaming all the time. So I try not to do that with him. I always let him make his own decisions and do what he wants. But when they're growing up and they're young, you know, you want to give him, make sure he's got the best possibility that he can get. You know, he grew up playing with kids like Ethan Irwin since he was a baby, Andre. There's a handful of kids here. There's kids that are at other places that he grew up playing with since he's a baby. If you've seen pictures on his Instagram, it's because I kind of force him to put them on there when they're little and they're showing, you know, some of the kids that are really young and stuff. So I think it's cool to look back and see how everyone's growing up, you know, through the years. And he played all his years at Henry County. I don't know what else we became, from Thunder to Fire to whatever the names we became. We left because of opportunity. We didn't feel it was right for him. And we just want to be stagnant. He asked him what he wanted to do. He says he wants to play. So we went off to other places, went to AFC Lightning. He played over there. We came back here because, you know, as Colby's dad said, it's very expensive. And, you know, we did everything we could to make sure we gave him the best chance possible. I try to, giving rides, I try to help every kid possible along the way. You know, this year we basically had 2 kids that we cared for almost the entire season, and I'm now trying to help them outside of, help them get further on with their soccer careers as well, because they need the help. And sometimes you need the help. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for it. It was this year that a lot of kids were asking me for footage, and I said, yeah, normally I just fill Hayden because I want to watch the game. I actually enjoy watching the game. And ended up filming a lot of their academies games and putting them up for them to use so that they can try to get into a school and try to get the footage they need. And I brought that over for you guys. That's something that I wanted to help with all the team here, was so you guys could have footage and you could have, you know, good stuff to send off and send it to colleges and hopefully do better for yourself. But it's definitely been a bumpy ride for him. You know, for many that don't know, you know, he was one of the few that got selected with Colby in 8th grade because of the COVID years. They got to play JV. They started every game that year. They were actually probably, honestly, don't take it the wrong way, they're probably a better team. That JV team was probably better than the varsity team that year. They were really good. I think they lost like a couple of games that year. They were a really good team. Freshman year, you know, you got to keep everything up. And unfortunately, Hayden struggles with grades. Got kicked off the team his freshman year. So unfortunately, he didn't get to play his freshman year. And we found out that he had a bit of a disability. I don't want to say it out. I don't want to really say it, but it turned out he had Asperger's, and it affects your social. So if you guys don't know why he's weird socially, that's why. We found that out ourselves because we didn't know either. And it affects him. But the reason I'm telling you this is because look what he's done today. He's been able to battle through these issues and dealing with, you know, not being as social. And it's surprising it is, you know, on the Revs, he's talkative. He actually talks and you have to do that. But you've already got a great leader in Colby. And Colby's a great leader out there. And you got people who can do it. Not everybody at the team has to scream. That's something I learned when I moved up and played. Not everybody has to be screaming because you need to hear certain people who know what they're doing. As a goalkeeper, believe me, I screamed my mouth off as loud as I could. I'd get told to shut up all the time by the center backs. But it's if you're ever having troubles and you're feeling like it's tough and you want to do something, you know, don't give up on it. Keep working for it, because he's proof positive. I mean, he's worked hard. I don't think we help him as much. I mean, yeah, we're trying to be there for him. I said we're supportive. I'm at every game. I probably never missed. Well, I've missed maybe 4 practices in entire life. I sit in the car. I watch. I don't even just sit there and read and what stuff. I love watching it. I love sports, so I love watching you guys all practice. I watch everybody, and to me that's fun. It may not be for him. You know, like I tell him, he's a light switch kid. When he walks out the field, he turns the light switch off. He doesn't watch soccer games. He doesn't watch anything. He'll watch some stuff when he wants to improve, but for him, he likes having his life, and then he turns it on and goes to the soccer field. And so you don't always have to live and breathe and die it. But if you do want to be professional, you do gotta look at your inner self at this point in time and realize, do you want to put in that hard work? And it's going to take being out there. And ironically enough, we went out to go practice kicking long balls at the beginning. I think it was in January when he hurt his ankle because he wanted to get ready for this next set of college recruiting that was going on and get ready for the season. And that's how he hurt his ankle. You know, it happens sometimes, but he wanted to go do it. And that's the great thing. That's something, you got to have that in you to want to get out there and go compete and go get at the highest level you can. If you want to go play soccer future, that's what you got to do. If you want to go to school, then you got to go that route, put everything you got into it, but don't ever let anything that's bothering you or slow you down. You got to work through those things. And I feel like for my son, that has been the toughest part of us as a family, is trying to help him work through a lot of the issues that he deals with every day. And I couldn't be more proud that he has gotten the offers he did and where he ended up. And we did choose a place that he has a Chick-fil-A, because if you guys know, the kid don't eat nothing but Chick-fil-A or pizza. I don't know how he's going to survive, but we had to find I think we got a really great school. The coaches were super impressed. We were really impressed with the coaches. They actually seemed like they cared about him, that he wasn't just a number. So when you go on your future college recruiting trips, also be mindful of these coaches, how they're talking to you and how they view you and look at you, because, you know, they're looking to get recruits, but you want to see who really wants you there. And that's a big key. And the Revs, I have to say, of all the academies we've been at, the Revs, it was tough. Like Coach Tim said, it was really tough when he didn't get on that A team right away. I didn't understand it. He didn't understand it. And but within like a month, he had already worked himself up to being the starting player on their A team. And then, like I said, they needed a guy up at the 19s. Not only to play 19B, he also brought him up to the 19A game, I think, a couple times. And so, but it's working hard. That's it, just working hard. That's kind of the message I just want to give to you guys is work hard. Don't let anything down. You know, I couldn't be more proud of him, man. He's, like I said, I know he's a bit awkward and, you know, he's not the most outgoing person, but I couldn't be more proud of him doing what he's accomplished. And, yeah, this is what he wants to do, and I'm proud of him. And thank you.
You want to say anything, Hayden?
I just want to say thank you to the coach for bringing me here and letting me play starter. I'd like to thank my dad for supporting me and my family, for him coming to every single game, and also filming to help me improve. And the team to also support me as well. And that's about it.
Colby can give you the date.
There's a date here.
All right, y'all. So, all right. So, y'all are more than welcome to take as many photos as y'all would like.